You can't do it yourself. You need good people, absolutely, to help run the business. You cannot grow doing everything yourself. You need a team, right? You need an army, basically.
Don't need to micromanage every little move. We can focus on the bigger and better things.
Yeah. Once you figure out, let's say, you know, you build more time.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to The Drive. Welcome back to the podcast. As you know, The Drive is a podcast that I host for Toronto Auto Brokers, where we interview young and handsome entrepreneurs and, find out, how they got to where they were, what gets them to where they're going, and, just trying to, give our listeners some input and some insight on how, what's the key to succeeding in life, and hopefully we can capture a little bit of that today. Today I do have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Barry Nisan, the owner of Epic Cycles. Barry, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for
joining
us.
Yes, definitely.
So Barry is a serial entrepreneur where he does have multiple businesses, but today I think we're going to focus on Epic Cycles and maybe OCT, Ontario Container Transport.
Yeah.
So Barry, thanks for joining us again, and let's get going.
Sure.
So first off, where do I begin? Let's learn a little bit about yourself. Based on your looks, I would assume you're in your late 30s.
Yeah, some people say even younger, but I'm actually 42.
There you go.
Going on 43, so that's attributed to, I think, to my lifestyle of staying young, staying fit, and the great outdoors, which I enjoy immensely. So
So I do have the pleasure of knowing Barry. This is not the first time we've met. So we'll get into all that too, as I do enjoy some of the outdoors, not as much as you, but we do have a few things in common. So a little bit about yourself. I know you're a family man. You have kids.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask
Yeah, of course. I got a wife, 3 kids, 3 beautiful children, dog as well. So full house there,
Right.
And other than that, I enjoy on my spare time to be outside, like I said, in the great outdoors, whether it's mountain biking, dirt biking, surfing, jet skiing, snowboarding. I do it all, and I just love it, right? So
that's amazing. That's amazing. So as you can see, he does like to live on the wild side. So nothing stops this young man over here. So that's amazing. So you have a family, kids. Are they into sports, into cycling, or are you like the lone ranger in the family?
Yeah, I'd say for now I am trying to get my son's getting into it slowly. I have a boy, 2 girls, and a wife. The wife, no, she doesn't like it much, but I take the kids as much as I can.
Yeah.
And the son seems to be following in my footsteps, so we enjoy going dirt biking together and on scooter rides, and and on the water.
That's
so
amazing.
We
That's
like
amazing.
it, yeah.
So basically, Barry likes anything to do with wheels. The wife likes 4 wheels and a steering wheel.
Anything with wheels or motors.
Yeah, that's it. That's awesome. Yeah, I love mountain biking myself, as you know. Nothing could stop me. I went on an epic ride last night. I don't know if you guys realized I threw that in there. Epic ride last night.
Yeah, of course. That's why it's
so,
epic.
all right. Why don't we just let's dive into Epic Cycles. I do know that you guys got into this during COVID because with the pandemic there was a crazy bike-demic going on.
Yeah, actually we got into it a little bit before right before the pandemic, which was to our advantage because we were ready for the pandemic, basically. But so I started my business basically in 2009. Let's say my business career, and that was in the shipping and logistics, and as well as selling products. That's where I gained my knowledge of products, is selling cargo control equipment, moving and packaging supplies for a company that I introduced called Toronto Trailers. And in 2018, I had an opportunity where a common friend of mine and my partners in the USA, he owned a big electric bike brand called Magnum Bikes, which at the time I had, to be honest with you, I had no clue what electric bikes are, but it was new. It was something new, something exciting. When I heard about it, it really excited me, being an outdoors guy, and never it's a product. It's a
it's
product.
easy.
It's a product that I liked and
It's
that I could
easy when you're
stand behind.
passionate about something.
Exactly.
It's not a job. It's a passion. It's
So
it's a way of life.
yeah.
Right?
So in the USA, they're doing great with over 200 chains going there, like with dealer networks. So the business aspect of it sounded great too, and they gave us the opportunity to run the full distribution exclusively in Canada. So, being as busy as I am, I decided, what, why not take another headache? Why not take on a little bit more? So, especially this time, a product that I can stand behind and enjoy. So we started it. And, of course, starting a new business, and especially something new, something fresh that nobody really knows what it is, it took a lot of time. It took time. So in 2018, 2019, like 2018, it was very slow, but we were just starting off, and we're taking our baby steps. We have,
pains, right?
but I dove right into it, and by 2019, things really started picking up, and to the point where after, where I started seeing things that I enjoy outside of the brand Magnum Bike. So I started bringing in my own brand called Blue Rev. And Blue Rev is where I developed bikes of different style that I felt was missing out of Magnum bikes. And from there, I took other products. Electric scooters was the next thing, and something that I could see as, really, really cool, really enjoyable, and brought that on. And by 2020, of course, the pandemic hit, and we were already kind of established, having 2 years under our belt,
which I'm sure helped a lot.
In inventory, and then of course, anything outdoors during that time period blew up. It was a crazy ride for sure.
A bunch of the guys, my friends got into mountain biking. I was into riding prior to, but I wasn't more into the full suspension bikes, the trails, and like the outdoors, like with single track stuff. But yeah, got into it, love it, and especially getting into the electric bike segment for you guys. Gas prices, traffic, downtown construction. What a perfect time. As the world changed and evolved, you kind of got there in that perfect timing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a factor or not, but or was it just a coincidence? Or
you know what? I think it was a coincidence, because when I first got into it, I looked at it as more of as a hobby, kind of as a sport.
Whether you need to get somewhere quick, whether it's work or an appointment, or just even do some grocery shopping. As you see, we have a lot of the delivery guys and a lot of delivery services now. Also, guys, being on two wheels, being on one wheel, it takes you on adventures. You could drive by, sorry to cut you off. You could drive by the same neighborhood, same street a million times. On a bicycle, all of a sudden, okay, I didn't know there was a little trail here. I didn't know this park takes me to this subdivision. It really is wild. That's why I genuinely, truly enjoy it. So I have a question for you. You mentioned, so you and your partner, you mentioned, you think that you guys kind of got into the cycling world pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
So with the trailer thing, so you have do you have, so you clearly you have a partner, and can you tell us a little bit about your partner, your partnership, a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my partner's Eric Wiseman, who you've had the pleasure of meeting many times.
Great guy, funny guy.
Yeah, and
good-looking guy.
He's a very good-looking guy. Not as good-looking as me, but he's
yeah.
But it's a competition always, right?
Yeah, of course. I'd say you got the better physique, but he's got those pretty eyes,
Yeah, I can't beat that, right? So
yeah, for sure.
But it's okay. So I mean, you know what? We started the company together first, Ontario Container Transport. I already had Toronto Trailers before he joined. Where essentially Toronto Trailers, the company comes from, because I own a lot, like over 100 trailers, like the 53-foot large trailers that hook onto fifth wheel tractors.
So you would rent them to trucking companies?
I don't rent them to trucking companies, no. I rent them as storage solutions. So basically to warehouses that run out of space in their warehouse, or companies that just need storage, that they can literally fit 26 full-size skids there. It's a big footprint of a warehouse inside a trailer, so it's kind of like mobile storage. So we drop trailers there, they load them up, and store the products in the trailers.
It's funny.
Or containers as well. Containers I got into afterwards, though, once I met Eric and we started getting into the container business, too.
It is actually because of Eric and Barry that we actually bought a container. We are in the car business, so we run into, we have a lot of tires and rims, and we just ran out of square footage. So
it's very convenient.
They were nice enough to help us get a container. and it really it really helped us a lot. So thank you for that. So
Yeah, of course,
there
yeah.
you go. I mean, when you ran out of space, OCT is your place, I guess.
It's a quick, affordable,
Did you catch
easy
that one, Rick?
solution.
Did you catch that one? Awesome. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry for cutting you
No,
off.
no, it's okay. So I was saying, it's as you know, it's the quickest, easiest, most affordable solution for extra storage, right? So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it sounds like life is treating you well. You've worked hard. You've tried a few different things, and it seems like you're going in the right direction. There's a pattern here.
Mm-hmm.
So what got you to be entrepreneurial? When was like the first time you kind of felt, hey, you know what? I need to do something. I don't know if it went back to your childhood, whether you were shoveling snow, washing windows at cars and gas stations, or what was your first point where you felt hey, I want to do something here. I want to make a couple of extra bucks.
you know what? It's funny. I always had it in me. Honestly, I always wanted to take control of my own life and destiny. I actually started working at the young age of 10, delivering newspapers. A lot of kids do it, but they don't last. I actually did it for four years. And I just liked money, right? So
They
and
had those books with the little tokens, and you knocked on doors to collect, and people had to pay you.
No, I never had to do that. Luckily, I just got checks sent to me.
Okay, that's pretty.
Cool.
I
I delivered papers for a local newspaper called Liberal.
Okay.
And we would just basically. I had my route and drop off papers 2 or 3 times a week.
That's pretty awesome. So as far as success goes, what would you like? How would you define success? What's your version of being successful, achieving success? Where does it start? Where does it finish?
So I think it's something that you definitely have to enjoy that what you're doing. And for me, I couldn't say it any more so that I do enjoy it because I love it. Actually, I love my products, love writing them, and having fun with it. Making money at the same time, obviously, is the goal of the business,
of course,
right? And we do, thankfully, do okay. But more importantly, I think is the enjoyment of it, and that's what the drive, right?
Of course,
that's part of your show. So it's what motivates me. I actually do a lot more. Like I am like the face of the company. I don't give it to anybody. I enjoy that part.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I do weekly photo shoots with the products, reviews. I have a YouTube channel now with like over 5,000 subscribers, and people really look up to me as the source when I'm introducing new products, giving it the full in-depth review and rides. And I try and I learn new products. Like recently, we introduced electric unicycles into our fleet, which are these one wheels that go incredible speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour. So I picked it up and I did my first YouTube video on that just last summer, literally showing me my first time on a one wheel. It's actually a humorous video.
There's
you should watch
unicycles for circuses, and then there's unicycles for the digital circus on the street, right?
Exactly.
I love that one. Rick, make sure you add that, okay?
So
So I know when Epic was just kind of growing and taking off, everybody was into bikes, and you guys have grown. I know you have a Woodbridge location, you have a location at the Junction, you also have a location in Ottawa, which is it's pretty awesome because Junction is downtown Toronto. You got Woodbridge, the heart of GTA Vaughan.
I think the majority of Ontario, that's where they come to.
Yeah, how did you guys make it to the 613?
613, so we have a dealer network. So we have basically dealers all across the country who resell our bikes, like the big brands that we have, Magnum and Blue Rev, as well as the scooters, now dirt bikes too. So we give it to basically them at wholesale prices to resell. So Ottawa happened to be actually our very first dealer, the store that we took over essentially. And 2 years ago, the owner there, he had a partner. And the partner said that he was done with the business. He wanted to focus on other things. So the other partner approached us and asked if we would be interested to take over because it's not something he wanted to do himself. He was more into the management, but not the actual business side of it. And I said to him, you know what? His name's Carlos, amazing guy and very hard worker. And again, he's also our very first dealer, so it was very sentimental that this became Epic Cycles. So we put the flag on it finally, right?
Yeah,
that's
always a big day, right?
So,
To get there. That's pretty awesome. Would you say that the passion for, or the need for e-bikes or scooters, whatever it be, like differs from like GTA Toronto, like to Ottawa, or would you say like the passion kind of?
You know what? It's fun. Like the Ottawa location actually happens to be doing better right now than the Toronto location.
Would it have to do with the schools there, the students?
I'm not sure. It's probably just basically the culture in Ottawa. I think they're basically more riders perhaps than in Toronto. I'm not sure, but I think that's got to be it because, like if you look at the population difference of Toronto and Ottawa, it's huge, right?
Yes,
Toronto has way more, but in retrospect, in Ottawa, they ride more. They buy more bicycles. It's the same thing in Quebec, by the way, too. In Quebec, it's like the capital of bicycles, right?
So
they're all out there. They like
that,
the outdoors. So I think it's like Toronto's just catching up. Maybe it's more European in a sense, and Europe's the same way, right? So.
I know that Quebec is huge. I have a friend of mine. So him and his partner, they ride street, so they ride road bikes, and they also do mountain biking. And his girl, she's wild. Like she's super extreme. Also, she's when it comes to sports, she's a daredevil. And, he was telling me about some wild stories out in Quebec, mudslides, just like unreal. So I know that it's huge there. It's not it's not just in the city. I mean, it's in the mountains and the outskirts of the cities and all that.
And another thing other than that, like they're real, like if you look at the population there, a lot of them, the commuting factor, a lot of them use it more so for commuting too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So now,
despite their cold weather too, right? So they have colder weather than us, and they still do it.
So just now shifting gears a little bit in the conversation. You like that, Rick? Thank you. So as far as the drive, as far as staying motivated. Clearly you're driven, you're motivated, you've been entrepreneurial, you've achieved success. It sounds like you're growing in all the businesses that you're at. So what keeps you driven, to get further, to grow, rather than just staying in cruise control, right? What motivates you to get to the next level? Do you want to get to a next level? Are you happy where you are?
I've always wanted to grow and keep going and going, but I did come to a point where I'm kind of content and kind of happy where I am. I have everything I need in life, and thank God, like a beautiful family who I love and enjoy spending time with. I want to do more of that already. I'm at that point, and I have enough. I have everything I need. So I don't know. It's hard to say. The more you drive, the more you work, it takes away from that life too. Yeah. I just want to. Like how much is enough, right? That's the question.
That's so
it's
true.
Never enough,
and
right? No matter how much you have. So
and as you grow in life and as you've achieved success, it's about working smarter, not harder.
That's right.
Building big teams and having good people around you. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what did it take for whether it's about OCT or Epic or anything that you've else done? Like, what does it take to get to that level where you can kind of have a well-oiled machine where you're still kind of running the show, but you don't have to be there 6 a.m. and leave at 10 a.m. Where you're grinding more, where you're just kind of in that you got that consistent flow, right?
You can't do it yourself. You need good people, absolutely, to help run the business, and you don't want to do it yourself. Like a lot of the times, like myself and my partner, we're both very hands-on, and we've always preferred to do things on our own because we just like how we do it.
That's a skill on its own that it probably takes years to develop.
It does. It takes time.
Most entrepreneurs that I've ever met were very hands-on, very controlling. Not because it's their personality type. It's just they want it done right. They want it done perfect. Who better for the job than you? But then you realize you don't have tentacles. You can't be at 8 places at the same time. But with technology, and the way the world functions today, it's easier to do it that way, right?
Yeah, for sure. Again, it's a necessity. If you cannot grow doing everything yourself, you need a team, right? You need an army basically to put it in different words, right? And you need a good team too. So once you develop and find a good team, you got to make sure, of course, you take care of your
100%.
good employees, and they give them a future too that they can build. And as the company builds, everybody grows together. So you got to grow together. I think it's important.
Things are going well. Don't need to micromanage every little move. We can focus on the bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And it's a pattern with most successful businesses that I'm noticing now, that you gotta kind of develop that team, which takes a long time. But once you get there, as you said, now next question I would have for you is, how would you say that success has affected like your relationships, whether it's in business, whether it's personal, family, friendships? Would you say that that helped in certain ways or didn't help in other ways? Like, can you touch base a little bit about that?
How has success affected relationships? Honestly, I try not to mix success with like friends and family, but it does at the beginning. Obviously, when you're working hard, like what I'm saying is it does certainly take away from that, because to be successful you got to work hard. There's no way around not working hard.
There's a time to play.
Yeah, and time to work.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
But while you're building, get successful, you're working more. So it does take away from family time, from friends time. But eventually, once you figure shit out, let's say, you build more time, and then you have, and that's why I was saying that, I've built myself in a way that I'm feeling content and happy with everything. And I don't want to, keep working hard for the rest of my life.
100%.
We built a team, and we got to rely on that team, and they got to do it. And I got to, now not micromanage, but overmanage, macromanage, I guess we call it.
Oversee operations on a daily basis.
And enjoy it. I'll do my YouTube videos and have the fun in the business.
Yeah, it seems like you're super passionate about all of it. And I get it. As I said, for me, riding is... I like to work out and I like to ride my bike.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. Yesterday I'm driving home. First thing I did, fill up my water bottle, get my earbuds, change my phone case to the quad lock because it stays on the bike nicely. I went for a nice rip.
Well, what bike do you ride, by the way?
So I drive a full suspension, a 29er, full carbon fiber.
Nice.
I ride. Sorry, I don't drive.
Yeah.
I do actually enjoy riding that bike in the city as well.
Yeah.
I go on adventures. I like to take the
trails and
the turns, and I like to explore. I find that it is a little bit harder to pedal. It's not as fast, but I find that staying consistently on one bike does get my body. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Going to be 50 next year. I find that it's comfortable. But I do enjoy that. My crew kind of slowed down on going on trails. Yeah. So last summer I actually, sadly enough, didn't hit any trails. But I actually just got a new bike rack and a hitch put on my car. I just changed cars. I'm in the car business, so that happens a lot. And then I'm looking forward. I think I'm going to go to Durham Forest this weekend, solo by myself. The only thing I hate about doing that is when I go alone, if God forbid you fall or get injured.
Yeah, no, it's good to have a partner.
It's good to have somebody that can call for backup for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So from that aspect, So now, as far as I know that you're a serial entrepreneur. You have multiple businesses. We only touched on a couple of them. What's next for Barry, Eric, Epic, OCT? Like, are you guys content with where you are, where the business will just kind of slowly grow? And
yeah, I think at this point it's kind of snowballing on its own, right? And we are, always introducing kind of new technology or new services within our businesses. But more or less, I think we are kind of almost on cruise control.
Okay.
You never want to be on cruise control completely, because that's when things kind of go down.
There's always turbulence, right? So you can't go into autopilot and just sit back and relax. But you could do more kicking back and relaxing.
The thing is, all the hard work we've done in the past, we've built in all our businesses, we built like a very good reputation. So I think at this point, a lot of it is word of mouth. I think very similar as Toronto auto brokers becoming like the leading used car sales
for sure.
in the city. It's the same thing, right? So your reputation, they say, always precedes you, right?
You know, Barry, I'll repeat this in all our podcasts. I will say, in today's day and age, service, my friends, my listeners, please hear this. Service is the key.
Yes.
Capital S, know your client, treat them good, cater to them. The client is always right for the most part. You cater to people, you give them what they want, you work hard, you will achieve success. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, I know that you guys strive, and you know, it's, the business you guys are in, things break, whether it's bicycles or transports and logistics and weather, and things happen.
Yeah, and transport, the only thing that sets you apart from the competition is service.
100%.
And in Ontario container transport especially, that's where we go above and beyond always. And Eric, my partner, he that's it. That's all he always repeats is service, service, service. And people come to us. They don't mind spending a couple extra dollars because at the end of the day, they know they're going to get the best service. And once they put the load in our hands, they don't have to worry. They know it's done. If you give it to OCT, forget it.
OCT,
it's finished.
The dream team, guys. They're young, they're good looking. I mean, what else? They're smart. What else can you ask for, you know? Barry, let me ask you this. You mentioned that you were 42, and I kind of, schmoozed you a bit, said that you look like you're 27. So if we can go back 20, 22 years and say, hey, Barry, what would you have wished you would have known 20 years ago that you know now? Like some piece of advice that you wish somebody said, hey, Barry, is there anything that you can share with us that's something that you wish you would have done different?
Not really. I think it's I always worked hard, and I wouldn't take that away because I wouldn't be where I am today without that. Maybe I would. I'm a little bit trigger happy. Sometimes they say, and trigger happy is I buy a lot.
Yeah.
I like the products I buy, so maybe I would tame that down a little bit.
Like inventory.
Yeah,
and stuff
inventory.
Like that? Okay.
I always want to have everything. But I mean, that's what people know us for too, is having everything.
So if I can touch on that as well, economies change, markets change, whether it's bicycles, like for example, the pandemic, things went crazy for bikes, scooters, anything e-bike and all that. I remember there was dealers that were terrified of buying a product. And it wasn't just the Toronto auto brokers for cars. I'm talking about bicycle shops, get that extra load of tires, gears, whatever. Guys, if you don't have it, you're not going to sell it. And that's the bottom line.
You know what? I'll give you a good example of that actually. In my business in Toronto trailers, we sell, one of the staple products that we sell are actually moving blankets.
Yeah.
And at the time of the pandemic, when the container prices, it's not like it's a cheaper product, but like it's a bulky product, so they take a lot of space in containers. So container prices rose from $3,000-$4,000 a container up to $30,000 a container.
I remember that.
Remember?
Yeah, prices of cars too just jumped up. Everything jumped up.
Nobody in their right mind said we're going to wait. We're not going to buy moving blankets. I bought 2 containers of moving blankets at $30,000 a piece. All I did was increased it for those margins. I more than doubled the price, making actually a little bit more profit than what I would have regularly.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
And nobody else bought blankets. I was the only person that had blankets. I sold those 2 containers faster than I would probably in a year, like in a month, and at more profit. And it just goes to show that you can't be afraid sometimes, right?
If it didn't work out, you had to sell the house. At least you had a bunch of blankets to stay warm,
Exactly. Warm up for
Amazing.
sure. Amazing.
So Barry, we're gonna get closer to the end of the drive. Again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I know you're busy. I know that you kind of, you're overseeing a lot of different projects right now that we talked about earlier outside of the drive, outside of the podcast. If there is like a something that we want to give our listeners, the younger generation, even guys that are older, that are starting off from, for whatever, curveballs or life threw at them, like a little nugget, a little piece of advice. I'm not looking for, like a, like a 7-episode production here, but just throw something at us. Give us a little something that our listeners can take home and thrive and grow from,
Yeah. It's so, again, I'm going to sound like I'm repeating myself, but you got to always work hard, but do something that you enjoy. Something that motivates you, something that feels good, and I think the rest will come, so just that's all I can say.
Build it and they will come, kind of a thing.
Build it and they will come, and don't be afraid to take chances, don't be afraid to take risks. Without taking the risk, you're not going anywhere, right? So you gotta build the dream. That's what it is, right?
That makes sense. So now this is my favorite part of the segment, where it's called the claim to shame or your claim to fame.
Okay.
What are we doing? We have 2 ways of you to make yourself look like a superstar, or no matter what, you walk out with your head high. But we get some laughs out of this. So walk of shame, claim to fame. You can putt. You could throw some darts. Choose your poison, and we're recording this and broadcasting it live. So what's it gonna be? And you are, you're very athletic. You're in great shape. So I would imagine you don't golf, do you?
I don't golf. No, I'm not really a golfer. I'm a dirt biker.
Yeah. Dirt bike, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be darts, or is it gonna be putt? And where you go, we'll send you back to where you want to go.
We'll throw me out of my element. Let's do a little golfing.
Woo! All right, guys. So give us a second while Ricky's gonna set up shop over here. And Barry, again, thank you for joining us, my man.
It's a pleasure.
I appreciate you taking the time. By the way, you can have your complimentary water. It's free.
Okay.
And we don't want to brag, but our espresso is pretty good. What did you think
It is good.
of it?
I liked it. Yeah. It was nice.
I really appreciate you taking the time to spend some time with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Right,
Thank
guys,
you for having me.
If you need a unicycle, you need a
Scooters,
bicycle, e-bikes.
Yeah. Dirt bikes.
Check out Epic Cycles. Barry's the guy. He's
we just launched a new website, actually, epiccycles.ca. Not like we've had websites, obviously, but it's a brand new facelift, and we're very proud of it. So check out epiccycles.ca. Everything's there.
Also, do you guys do service on bikes, on all brands?
Yes.
So I just wanted to touch. Sorry, I should have touched up on that a little bit earlier. So you guys service e-bikes of all brands, just Epic, or
you know what? So basically, we do service all e-bikes. Doesn't matter, but the thing is, a lot of e-bikes are proprietary.
Yes.
Proprietary
batteries, parts.
So we may not have the parts available if it's not our brand that we sell. But if it's our brand, we could certainly do like diagnostics, and if we could get the parts, we can repair it for sure.
Okay.
But if it's anything that we sell, we stock everything. Like we ship all across the country. We ship to maybe 40, 50 different bike shops for them to resell. So we support them. And we have a 30,000 square foot warehouse, actually. So
that's amazing. Guys, if you
full
call Epic
center
and mention Barry's name or Toronto Auto Broker's name, they'll treat you really, really well, better than they already do.
Yeah.
And I wish you guys only the best of luck. And just from one avid rider to another, guys, get out there. Summers are short here in Canada. Get out there, enjoy. Get your family, buy a bike ride, buy a scooter, buy a skateboard, get some pads, get some helmets. Get out there, have some fun, okay? That's Mr. Berman's orders there. All right, guys. So Barry, this is the segment. This is the part. Your claim to fame, your claim to shame. Whatever you do, we still love you. You're still a brother.
I'm still a winner, right?
You're still a winner.
Okay.
You're still a part of the TAB family, and you do get your little gift bag that our lovely Danielle, the girl behind the scenes that makes this happen, set up for our guests.
What gift bag? She told me I'm walking out with a car.
She's fired. We're looking for another Danielle. If you send your resume, fax number 905-264. All right, so Barry, this is what you're going to do, my man. You're going to get up, posture up, my man, look good for my cameras, grab that putter, you get 3 shots, get it in the hole or don't.
All right.
Do what you got to do, my man. Good luck, all right?
Let's do it.
All right, so Barry, all right, guys, here we go. Here's shot 1. No pressure, Barry. All right, it's all good, Barry. You still get a gift bag. Oops, take your time, brother. Take a deep breath, no pressure. I'm not standing behind you. Don't worry, you're good. We have a loser. You know what, Barry? Since you're so handsome, take one more shot.
Okay.
Yeah. Take your time, Barry. Take your time. Let's get it done, Barry. Get her done there, bud.